So here's a snack I just bought at the supermarket. When you open the box, we find each piece inside is wrapped all over again. In Japan, this is completely normal, but why Japan still continue with this kind of overpacking? Before explaining the overpackaging of a Japanese product, let's see the amount of packaging used. Please compare it with the packaging in your own country. These are the items I bought from the supermarket yesterday and today. So first, let's look at the fruits. So this is the lemon. As you say, it's packed. In the Japanese supermarket, some fruits are wrapped in plastic. Some are even individually wrapped like this lemon. When it comes to like vegetable, while most of the things are packaged, and even a single vegetable like this is like carefully packaged in Japanese supermarket. Can you see that? So why do supermarkets need to package their product to this extent? First, you should know about Japan's unique packing culture. This culture is deeply rooted in etiquette, consideration for others, and aesthetic sensibility. For example, in Japanese stores, it's common for purchase items to be carefully wrapped in paper bags. This act contains respect and thoughtful consideration for the recipient, while particularly when giving gift, packaging is considered essential etiquette in Japan. The origin of this packaging culture are deeply connected to furoshiki. Furoshiki is a square cloth that has been used in Japan for a long time to wrap and carry items. But even today, it continues as etiquette for wrapping gifts when visiting others. The kanji character for wrap in packaging represents the image of fetus in a person's belly, meaning to wrap and protect something important. This Japanese approach to packaging is thought to lead to the excessive packaging of vegetables, fruits, and snacks. But in fact, when vegetables and fruits aren't packaged like in other countries, while many people in Japan who are accustomed to packaging feel something is off, while some might even find it unsanitary. But against this culture background, we Japanese tend to find more value in careful packaging than other countries do. This is closely tied to quality assurance and peace of mind. But of course, not all Japanese people feel this way. But personally, I had no resistance to buying unpackaged vegetables and fruits overseas. But however, it's not surprising that some consumers might question the quality and the safety of unpackaged product in Japanese supermarkets. Why this is because many of us Japanese are accustomed to buying carefully packaged quality assured food items. Foreign object contamination incidents in the 1980s are thought to have further strengthened Japanese people's trust in and sense of security from packaging. Even in recent years, incidents of foreign objects being found in food, especially at the convenience stores, have tend to be widely reported in the news media in Japan. But of course, depending on the type of contaminant, they can be life-threatening. Therefore, while these issues should certainly not be taken lightly, it seems that the amount of coverage they receive has a significant impact on society. Well, think about carefully, these kind of contamination basically occur before packaging. So it doesn't matter whether the product is packaged or not. However, there is no doubt that packaging gives people a certain sense of security. But this effect is thought to be particularly later in Japan, where such incidents of foreign matter contamination are often reported than in other countries. And imagine food that typical customers are in the supermarket. Well, of course, they are a variety, but some may have small children or older parents. Caring about what they eat is really important. But one question arises, do you remember the snacks I showed you at the beginning of the video? The snacks are already packaged in large bags, yet each piece inside is also carefully wrapped. This clearly seems like overpacking. However, there are other reasons for this. One reason Japanese snacks are individually wrapped is portability. For example, when going to work or school, you don't need to carry the whole bag. You can just put a few pieces in your bag and take them with you. So during a short break, it's very convenient to be able to grab just one, when you feel a little hungry. Look at this. This is I created. Can you see the text? They say individually packaging. Please share with your friend or something. This is a good example. They put the message here because this appeals consumers. The second reason is ease of eating. In Japan, people prefer not to touch food directly with their hands. For example, oily or powdery snacks or even chocolate is a good example, are much easier to eat when they individually wrapped. Whether you're working at your computer in the office or giving snacks to children, this convenience is highly valued in Japan. And think about from the manufacturer's point of view, this is also a big reason. By wrapping snacks individually, they are less likely to lose freshness due to moisture or oxidation. So they stay tasty even after time passes. If you open a large bag, the remaining snack will quickly lose their crunch and flavor, but with individual packaging, the quality is preserved even if you don't eat everything at once. In other words, for consumers, it means the peace of mind of always fresh. And for manufacturers, it means maintaining product value until the last bite. It's a kind of win-win system for both sides. The reason behind individually wrapped snacks all bring great value to Japanese consumers. But as someone who grew up in Japan, I believe there is another important reason, which is souvenir culture. In Japan, it's very common to buy local snacks when you travel or go on a business trip, and then share them with coworkers or classmates after you return. When I was a student, every summer vacation, my friend would bring back local sweets or snacks from the places they visited and share them with everyone. This act is more than just giving out snacks. It's a small form of communication in Japan. It says I went on a trip, thank you, or even please continue to take care of me. Especially in the workplace, this souvenir culture plays a very important role. And in these situations, individually wrapped snacks are incredibly convenient. Because each piece is separated, you can simply place them on the desk with a note that says help yourself. Not everyone is in the office at the same time, so these snacks are often left on the table in common area where people can take one whenever they like. Since they might stay there for hours, individual packaging ensures they remain hygienic and safe to eat. In this way, Japan's souvenir culture and individually wrapped snacks are deeply connected, forming the unique system of thoughtfulness that is rarely seen outside of Japan. But while this kind of over-packaging is convenient and has cultural meaning, Japan can't ignore the global issue of plastic waste. That is why in recent years, the country has started taking small steps toward reducing plastic use. One well-known example is changing for plastic bags. Since 2020, supermarket and convenience stores have made plastic bags cost extra, and as a result, more and more people now carry reusable shopping bags. At first, many people found this was a bit inconvenient, but over time, it's become part of daily life in Japan. Another change is at convenience stores, where spoons and straws have been switched to paper or wooden ones. This might feel like a small thing, but it's one way to cut down on using plastic without even thinking about it. Of course, these efforts are really just the first step. The reality is most products in Japan are still heavily packaged, as I showed you. As we've seen, this has a lot to do with Japan's culture, sense of aesthetics, and the long-time habit of expecting everything to come neatly wrapped. And that is why it's not easy for things to change overnight. Still, Japan has begun moving toward the goal of reducing plastic little by little. And maybe in the future, it felt like completely normal to see all unpackaged fruits and vegetables on the shelves and for people to buy them without hesitation in the supermarket. So is Japan's packaging culture one for hospitality to you, or do you think it's a bit excessive? Well, please let us know in the comment box below. There are so many unique parts of Japan that might surprise you. You can watch one of them right here. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. See you soon.